Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the Austrian Legacy Challenge on our Saturday event. I'm joined with Felix, and we just had our top 8 announcement, and we're excited to share with you who actually made it to the top 8 before we actually get to the top 8 matches. So, Felix, why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit who is actually in the top 8 for today's match?
So in first place, it's Maya Alexander playing Yori on Devon, Texas. Second place, Ritter Simon. I think he plays Cradle Control.
Yeah.
In third place, Mörstel Daniel. We saw him on stream playing Ninjas. In fourth place, Tamash. He won the FNM yesterday and is undefeated today as well, playing his Tron build. In fifth place, Jakob Heidecker. We saw him playing Doomsday today already in the feature match. Sixth place, another local guy, Schmidhuber Markus, playing Blue-Black Reanimator. I haven't seen him yet today, but I hope we will get to see more of him later. In seventh place, Bernsteiner Paul. We saw him pilot Painter yesterday on feature, and today Blue-Black Reanimator.
Yeah.
And the last one, Chino with Christian playing Elves.
Exactly.
The famous elf storm list from yesterday. Today he's playing traditional elves, I think.
Yeah.
So no tendril kill.
Yeah. Unfortunately not.
No tendril kills.
Still a cool deck to see in the top 8 of a Legacy event like that. Very unusual. And this is also what we will watch now when we head into the top 8 matches. So we will have Alexander Meyer. He plays Devon, Texas, I think what you mentioned.
Yeah. He's playing it for the first time, actually.
Okay.
So it's a friend of mine. He's staying at my place this weekend. And he came from Rosenheim, Bavaria. And he said, okay, I'm going to bring a different deck for all 3 days.
Okay.
First time in the decks. He played like a lot of Breakfast and Oops prior in Bavaria and qualified for, I think, a Bavarian Legacy champion already.
Yeah.
And now he's trying more fair decks this weekend. So yesterday he played a Stifle Nord deck. And today he's playing Devon, Texas for actually the first time, and he made top 8.
That's actually very cool to see, I have to say. And the players are shuffling in up, and we will be ready for the first top 8 match soon. And it will be exciting. Devon,
That's
Texas.
the wrong list, though.
Yes. I will put this up.
Yeah.
So players are taking their mulligan decisions at this point, and we see a Yorion on the battlefield from Alexander, and he is on. Yeah, is this a blue-black version of Devon, Texas?
You mean white-black?
Yeah. White-black,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
I think right now it has become stock to play Bowmasters, Overlords, and Fort Caesars in the main deck.
Yeah.
Also like the Phantom Blade, but you treat that in with the Stoneforge Mystic anyways. But I think the black cards have been mandatory with the recent changes in Legacy, like the Fort Caesars and the Bowmasters are such strong cards in the current metagame.
Yeah.
And the Overlord just works well for the flicker effects with the newly printed Failure, with also Flicker Wisp, and I think we don't have Ephemerate in this deck.
In this case, no, it's just the swords and the thought CCs on in spells and the vials.
Yeah,
so
with Failure and Flicker Wisp, you can flicker the Overlord.
Yeah.
As it's good to like buy back Solitudes and pitch them again, and it's a strong 2-mana value play that works in the late game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very strong overall deck. I lost to it actually many times in one of my local, because when I tend to be playing it something like blue-black tempo, and this really struggles against Devon, Texas, for example. So Alexander was on the play as he was first. Yeah, he got to choose that, and we saw land and Elvish Reclaimer, and it's Alex's second turn.
So this matchup has existed for many years, I think, in Legacy right now. Like playing the Devon, Texas deck, different variations, same for the Elves deck. And I think it should favor the Elves deck, as it's like a creature deck with like produces value, produces a combo finish. And the Devon, Texas deck is more like geared towards beating spell-based or combo decks. With not creature-based combo decks, of course, but spell-based combo decks. So I think what Alex is doing right now is getting the Stoneforge and trying to apply pressure with the card draw complete. That's the only way. I don't think he will, maybe the ultra long game he will win, but not like the mid to long game.
Yeah, I am assuming he's fearing the most a fast natural order into, I don't know,
I mean,
Great Behemoth maybe?
there is no order.
There's no Behemoth actually. But what would be the card that's... there's even no natural order, sorry. Yeah, this is what is
It
here.
looks like a more
A value kind of.
value elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Silver Messenger is, I think, similar to the Goblin Ringleader, that like you reveal 5 cards or 4 cards and pick all the elves into your hand, I think.
This is, I guess, a good sign for Alexandra, right?
I think that is more like a fair elves.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened here was to Swords the Dryad Arbor and Bowmaster the Dryad Arbor. So Chino lost both his land drop from last turn. Why is he tapping Cradle? Because of the Yavimaya. Yeah, so he lost both land drop for last turn and the card he got with the Zenith, putting him back to only 1 mana or 2 now with Cradle, thanks to the Yavimaya. Imagine this being a Bayou or a Forest, he would have 1 mana only.
Yeah.
And couldn't even get the Dryad Arbor. Now he at least can get like a Mana Elf, I guess, like Elvish Mystic or something would be my weapon of choice here, I think. Maybe a Reclaimer.
Yeah.
There's the Reclaimer, as we see.
Okay.
But so it's, I think, a very good start for Alex this game. Double Swords to Plowshares plus Bowmaster, so kind of 3 removals already.
Yeah.
And he only plays like Swords and Solitudes really as removals. Skyclave is conditional on expensive. Bowmaster is a one-time removal for 1 toughness elves. Because the elf stack in this version doesn't even play Glimpse, so he doesn't really draw cards.
Yeah.
So this Bowmaster was just a one-time 1 mana.
Exactly, yeah.
Like make 2 bodies and make 1 damage to a 1/1 elf or Dryad Arbor in this case. Now we're buying Yorion and pitch casting it immediately on the Reclaimer.
Okay, Alexandra apparently really wants to make sure to have the table of Christian very clean.
Another green sentiment.
There's another one.
Getting another Reclaimer maybe.
For the question in chat, the land that we had is Yahimawa,
Yavimaya,
which enables, of course, the Cradle to tap at least for 1 green if there's no creature on the battlefield. Now it goes for
the elf. Yeah.
the Mana Elf.
And now we see the combo of Alex holding, I think, Overlord of the Bale Merc in hand, and he can. He's really going for pressure now, okay,
Yeah.
but he could like for 2 mana play it and kind of buy back the Solitude with it and pitch exile the elf again. But I don't think he had a creature, another white card in hand. I think he had only the Overlord and maybe a second Overlord. So we will see for the future. Right now we got in with the Bowmasters and the Color Complete and deploying a late while, which is okay, but
Yeah, I guess, well, Alexander, I think, doesn't know that there's no natural order in the deck, but I guess this is why he would be so aggressive with...
Which elf is this?
This should be...
It's a 3 mana elf, I think.
A 3 mana 1, okay.
3 or 2. No, it's not the champ. Maybe it's the champion. A new
Maybe it's a
printing.
champion, yeah.
It's not Asuri, I think. Or maybe this is an Archdruid. Does he play Archdruid? No. Oh, I think it's a new Archdruid printing.
Yeah.
So
Which
Christian
anyways
played the Archdruid, I think it was.
which anyways gets... What happened here?
Is this Phantom Blade? A natural drawn Phantom Blade
Okay.
that gets put in with stone. Is it Phantom Blade, right? That kills a creature?
Yeah, exactly. This is a creature, 5 mana, has ETP, and it can destroy a creature.
So you put it on the Orc army, gave it Summons from a Menace, attacking Christian down to 5.
Yeah.
And sorry for interrupting you before, but as you mentioned, I think he's really scared of natural order into something big.
Yeah, exactly. So like he wants to make sure that there's no targets for it, and it doesn't develop the mana to be able to cast it. Exactly. Yeah.
I think Chino has like drawn Green Sun Zenith 5 turns in a row, kind of. Like every turn we see him casting Green Sun Zenith.
There's now a Heritage Druid on the battlefield. He cannot use it right now. He has 3 mana with the Cradle though.
So I think the last card was another Archdruid.
Okay.
Oh no, it's the Asuri.
This is the Suri, yeah.
No, Eladamari actually, I think.
Eladrami actually.
You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library, and you can tap itself, pay a green and 2 other untapped creatures. Reveal the top card from your hand over the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you can put it into play. So you can tap a mana and 3 creatures, and put the creature from your hand or top into the play.
Yeah. Not enough, I would assume now.
Yeah, I think the Caldo Complete was a very quick quick start to the game.
Yeah. And Christian doesn't really have a way to remove that one.
I think this was one of the more fast starts for the Death in Texas. It was not like really grindy, not getting value. He was just going for triple removal on turn 1, 2, and 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then Stoneforge into Cultra to make the 5/5 haste and apply the pressure to kill Chino quickly for Christian.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had Timeless Swords, he had Bowmasters was also quite good.
It killed a Droid Arbor, which is killing a land with a Bowmaster is really, really nasty, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chino in this hand, when you look at the sideboard, he has a couple of options that he might want to bring in. Maybe Prop Decay.
Yeah.
Trophy. Other than that, would you bring in the Force of Riggers that he has?
What did we saw? Only 4. He plays 7 artifacts and 4 overlords. That's 11. I don't think you should bring Force of Rigger against it. Like you can't kill the Caldra, and that's the main issue. And you don't really want to kill the Wild anyways. You probably has like Reclamation Sage or something, maybe, or maybe not. Collector Oof is the better card. So that stops the Wild anyways. So you can wish for it. You've seen it. That's better than I think warding in a Force of Rigger, which you can't really draw. And you have to draw it naturally anyways. So I think both players don't have a lot in this matchup. Looking at Chino's sideboard, as you mentioned, the Abrupt Decay, one of Assassin's Trophy. Maybe a Boseiju to like kill the Wild, but same as Force of Rigger, it doesn't really do anything against the Caldra.
Yeah.
And killing a Wild is nice, but with Boseiju he gets another land, so it's like not really killing the Wild, right? Because you give him another land. Maybe the Fort Seizes though.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you. Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure how well they are because they can be bad top decks and so on. But you think he should
I don't
maybe
think
look.
So.
You think it's
maybe on a draw to like snipe it off the Stoneforge Mystic or something, but he wants to be as elf ball as possible, I think, since that's the best strategy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, it removes Caracas. That's a good point. Boseiju kills Caracas. That's a very important land in Alex 1 base.
Yeah.
He has 4 Caracas.
There's a playset there of Caracas. Yeah.
Caracas blinking, I guess Felia, Talia is not that important. And only really Yorion. And all the legendary elves, of course, from Gino. He plays some legendary elves.
There's a couple of them. Itsuri, there's this Eladrami.
Another Eladamri, I think. Yeah. Also legendary, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. So yeah. Caracas looks pretty good. Yeah.
I guess you don't need 2 basic forests in this matchup. So you can play the Boseiju over it probably. Will
Alexander bring in Wrath of Disguise?
I think for sure that's one of the best cards. So Wrathdigger's Cage, I can see it against the Renaissance in it. It's no natural order, but he's likely skill scared of it. Same for Path to Exile. It's almost like a 5th sword. Containment Priest, kind of the same as Wrathdigger's Cage, prevents the creatures from like jumping out of the battlefield from the deck. Maybe Flutes for some shenanigans, depending how scared he is. Wrath of Disguise for sure. Like, he has lots of dead cards. Like, you don't want Talias, you likely don't want the Lion Sash, you likely don't want the White Orchid Phantom.
Yeah.
Maybe to kill Cradle, it could be good.
Yeah.
What do you maybe don't need the Witch Enchanter, but that are likely land slots. You don't need the Fort Seizes, I think. These are bad cards.
Yeah, okay.
Unless it feels like Chino playing the Natural Order version, then Fort Seize is fine, I think. But we will see what happens. So here we see the Blade killing. It's kind of the same story as the first game. Wow.
Exactly, yeah. The removal after removal, we had the Solitude getting pitch cast already. Now there's a Stoneforge in the hand getting the Phantom Blade, and now killing basically anything that Christian puts on the table, and he's not desperately trying to at least develop the Dried Arbor.
I don't think that works that way.
Which way? The Skyclave?
Excel the Dried Arbor.
I think it's a non-land.
Yeah,
it has to be non-land.
So you should have swordsed it, but he didn't read it.
Yeah, he was too fast. He wanted to snap it off to just remove that rune.
So what happened this game is that the Chino played the Boseiju or like Natural Order early on. I'd seen it early on, and it got Solitude Pitch exiled. Then he played the Reclaimer and the Cradle, which got Wastelanded and Swords to Plowshares or some other thing. With the blade, he got rid of the blade.
Yeah.
And then he tried to excel in the next Dryad War. So Alex is focusing on the mana denial strategy a lot.
Which makes sense.
And this is an old legend, Eladamri, Lord of the Leaves.
Yeah. It gives all elves forest walks and cannot be the spells of targets or abilities.
So it gives all elves Shroud. Is it an elf himself? Did they like errata it?
I think it is not. Or it just gives all other elves, I think.
I think that should be the correct errata.
Yeah.
It's dead already anyways, so I think it got
What happened?
solituded.
There was a Wrath of the Sky.
But it was for 0. I got Caracast.
I was Caracast, okay. Back to hand.
He got
Okay.
Caracast back to hand, it's a legend, yeah. And then he got Wrath Disguised and Solid and Swords.
Alexander's
Alex
own
playing so quickly.
and just removal after removal.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
And now next turn he gets to do like Yorion stuff, blinking Skyclave, blinking the blades. This looks not good for Chino. This was crazy both games. He had like a mana denial after mana denial after mana denial with like killing the mana dog elves from Chino, killing the cradle. And you see Chino has like 5 cards in hand. He's stacked with big elves, 3-drop, 4-drops, 2 mana legendary elves, which all get walled kind of by Caracas, and Alex doing so many broken stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive what this Devon Texas deck can do when it comes to removal spells. You see, an elf deck doesn't want to be on turn 5 or something with just 2 lands in deck and no creature. This is absolutely not the place you want to be.
And I thought this matchup was gonna be really, really bad for Alex, but it's not a combo elves, it's like a fair elves, and
this is, I guess, what would have been a big factor when it comes to this matchup.
and there's the Force of Vigor killing the blade.
Well, okay, yeah.
But
I guess Alexander
without any
doesn't.
creature, you know.
I guess Alexander says, okay, yeah, you can have my blade.
Yeah.
I don't need it at this point anymore. He
Gonna
does.
get a culture complete anyways.
Yeah.
And now he kind of has the lock. He has every turn can blink the Yorion, exile something with the Skyclave in the end step. So this looks very, very bad for Chino.
Yeah.
Even the path to it.
Oh my god.
Is he really giving out? It's a leaf already. Yeah, with the Skyclave attack, Yorion attack. And
This was quick and easy.
was it like 5 minutes or what?
Okay. we thought so. For this, we also have a backup match, which we actually thought would have lasted way less than this one. But obviously, Devon Texas aggro deck.
yeah, you see, played quickly like a burn deck. Just bolt your bird, attack you, bolt your bird, attack you every turn, kind of. That was crazy showing of Alex.
Yeah.
Really demolished Chino. Like every answer lined up really, really good from Alex's side. And
Yeah.
we see the path to exit, we see the Wrath Disguise, the Graph-Digger's Cage. So he was really scared of the Natural Order package, I think.
Yeah, he didn't see it in game 1, and well, there was a possibility that still Gino had it in his deck.
Yeah.
So we see Alexander is now in the quarterfinals. So he's advancing. First place. What was his record? Was he undefeated?
No, he was 5-1.
Okay, yeah. But very good performance. And yeah.
And usually, I'm not quite sure how the bracket looks this for today, but 1st and 8th, the winner faces the winner of 4th and 5th place. So I think that's our second backup feature match.
I think so, yeah. We will actually have a look how they are doing.
So Alex will play against the Tron deck or Doomsday next round if the bracket works out this way. I'm not quite sure, since sometimes it's different, but how the bracket usually is 1 and 8 versus 4 and 5, and 2 and 7 versus 3 and 6. So
yeah.
And we have the backup match. We have Tamash on the Tron Eldrazi prison, not Eldrazi, but like Tron prison, Helm, Leyline, whatever deck.
Yeah. This saw a couple of times already, and it paid off again. He's now in the top 8.
So far, he hasn't lost a single match this weekend.
Wow, yeah. He had the chance to draw 2 times into top 8.
So he has 9 wins and 2 intentional draws.
Yeah, it's actually very, very cool to see. Make sure, I think.
Let's ask for the standing, how it's
Currently.
What's their score, yeah. So the right player now is, or left player is 1-0 for Tamash. Wow. So the Eldrazi, I always keep saying Eldrazi, but like the Tron prison deck beat the fast combo deck. That's
I
interesting.
wonder how this happened, but maybe it has to involve something like again Tuning Sphere or whatever.
I think so too. Yeah. He wasn't a play. It's fourth. TH.
Thanks for my spelling.
Yeah.
Then we have Jakob, one of our local guys in playing Doomsday.
With EE. And we saw both of them plenty of times today. I think Jakob once and Tamash like 2 times yesterday and 1 time today already.
Yeah.
I think the win must have involved something like turn to Trinisphere from Tamash's side.
We saw that a couple of times already over the course of the yesterday and today.
Maybe Jakob went for like a turn on Doomsday and then he could just go Trinisphere and didn't think that in his pile and just died to...
Could be, yeah. Could be.
Stuff.
Let's see, yeah. So Tamash now opens with a key. And Jakob deploys Polluted Delta, opting to cast his first spell. Okay, you're just
the first surveillance. It's kind of a spell, you know, Squire 1.
Yeah. But I guess Jakob was on the play, so this is end of turn.
Yep, exactly. So can Doomsday win on turn 2 from this spot? Not really, right?
I think he can. If you have enough cyclers, there's like this combination of cycling, then Lion's Diamond into cycler, and then you cast just like completely unprotected and so on. I think if you have for example, if you have Brainstorm and Ritual Doomsday, I think it is possible on turn 2.
Yeah.
But unlikely, of course.
So you would need like the Dark Ritual to play a Doomsday.
Yeah.
And then you make a pile with a bunch of cyclers.
Yeah.
As you said, like Street Waves, I think.
Street Wave, and then there is this
the Edge of Autumn. I think that's how it's called. Yeah. Maybe we can put up the deck list for the stream one more time. This Teferi is bouncing the key. I mean, that might be a good play if you have the Daze in hand. So maybe he goes for Monolith next turn, then you get to Daze the Monolith. That would be a nice play.
Yeah.
So he goes for bouncing the key, draws another card. And is that a foil Doomsday? Is this the invocation, Amonkhet invocation Doomsday? Looks like it,
in
right?
his hand? Yeah.
He just drew it off Teferi. So
Okay, yeah.
That's quite nice. So this Doomsday pile usually plays a Doomsday with his current hand and then wins the turn after.
Yeah.
And there's the Daze on the... Daze is good here. Yeah, Daze on the Monolith. Very, very good play. As we already figured out, it would be his line. He drew a Cycler, the Edge of Autumn.
Okay.
Keeps a card on top that's likely a ritual or a land, since he only has 2. And let's see if Tamash can assemble Tron this turn. There is the natural Tron with the power plant. So he has up to 7 mana available. And he starts with another Monolith, which I think resolves. So that's a lot of mana. With the key in hand, we know about the key.
So natural Tron and then
Natural
Monolith.
Tron, the second Monolith.
Second Monolith. Okay.
So right now it's 3, 6, 8 mana left. With the key, it's +1, so it's 9 mana potentially. There comes the key, 2 mana floating. That's 5.
Okay, it's even more mana. Guess
4 mana floating. There's the ring.
The round ring, yeah.
And ring doesn't do anything against Doomsday, right? Since you win by Tassos Oracle or Chase.
The trigger does not, yeah.
So
exactly.
Looking at Jakob's list, I think it's, I guess, a little bit more slow version with only 2 cyclers in the deck.
He opted to go for, let's say, a more controlish version. He has the Tamios inside, he has the Fairies inside.
Also 3 Veil of Summer main deck.
And 3 Veil of Summer main deck, exactly. It's a 4-color version, basically. And he also has a couple of white cards in the sideboard, like Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares, against, any creature-heavy decks. And,
if it's a ritual on top, he wins, Eureka says. Because he goes for a land, it's 1 more turn, So he goes for ritual, casts Doomsday, has, I guess, blue land open. And then he can go...
Edge into Brainstorm, maybe set something up with...
Edge into Brainstorm, Lion's a Diamond, Lotus Petal. Cycle into this Bullshit pile. Yeah, makes
Brainstorm.
sense. Oh, sorry.
It's also
Brainstorm
bullshit pile.
Yeah. My bad.
Yes.
Went into brainstorm. Yeah.
It's same old bullshit pile as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
it.
there's flute. Damn.
This is a good card and good answer to stop Doomsday from being cast.
He got to untap the ring twice.
Ah.
Like once with the key, so he drew 3 cards.
Okay, yeah.
And he actually was, I think it's a Dark Rit that he drew the white border
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
It's like 7th edition or something.
Mhm.
Oh no, it's not an older version, but it was Rit, yeah. So this would have been the game for Jakob if there wouldn't be the flute on likely Doomsday.
I guess so, yeah. This is what I would imagine. What else? Does he have other?
Maybe Oracle.
Does he have other options? Does he have a prismatic ending?
I think so.
Could he remove the flute and try to go for it next turn?
He thinks about if he can ponder for a land.
Okay, yeah.
Or if he just has to ending right away, because if you're missing the ponder here, this is very, very bad breaking.
This is very bad then, yeah.
So this is okay, it's a land. Fine. Okay.
Land into likely, I guess, ending on the flute.
Yeah.
And hope that there's nothing problematic coming from the next 4 cards.
More like 7. He draws 3 and 4 again. So
That's just messed up, yeah.
I think. Oh wow, he's not playing the ending. Oh, he's the Fairy Plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has blast, I think. It was.
Yeah, he has plus, so he can play the ending on Tamash's end step. So if Tamash feels too safe with the flute out,
Could be, yeah. There's actually a good little interaction that you need to watch out for, that you can cast sorceries at instant speed.
you could also do Dark Rit in the Doomsday on the end step if it's not Dark Rit, if it's not like not named the Doomsday with the flute.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see if Tamash. I think if he played like one more Trinisphere, the game is almost over, I would say. It looks really rough. Even a Karn stopping the Lotus Petal and a Liner Diamond and getting maybe another Flute of the Cyborg or something. Or
Exactly,
Needle.
yeah. Can't stops the fast line, which involves the lines and diamond. Yeah.
Can we get confirmation what the flute is naming from the spectator maybe? I think it should be Doomsday. That's like Doomsday is the thing that makes the most sense here, I would say.
Yeah. Just need to make sure that's actually the case. But we assume so. And Tamash has so many options, he doesn't even know where to start probably.
Yeah, if you should draw 4 more cards to get more options.
Why not, right? He has the mana, and yeah, we can do that.
Another tower that's 10 mana now available. 12 if you count the key on the monolith activations. And there's the Trinisphere.
That's Trinisphere, yeah.
And this forces the action on the ending right now to get rid of the flute.
Yeah, he has to go for it. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he cannot win next turn then if the Trinisphere resolves.
The Trinisphere counters the ritual, kind of like it makes nothing.
Yeah, he can cast the Doomsday, but then he has to pass again.
And if you play the Doomsday, he can Teferi minus it, the bounce the Trinisphere.
Ah yeah, true. Let's see.
But this is also good on Tamash part, I think, since he's like playing the Trinisphere. Then now Jakob has to respond on the flute, and then he can still decide if he wants to like untap the ring, maybe draw more cards and finds another hate piece after the Trinisphere.
Yeah.
And so there we see the ending for 2 instant speed, exiling the flute.
Makes sense.
Trinisphere resolves now, I guess.
Yeah.
Now Tamash has the second flute ready, which maybe should have flashed him before the sphere resolves.
Okay, what would you name then? In that case, just another Doomsday?
Yeah, because now you play 3, but maybe it's better to play around 4 so fill in this point.
Okay, yeah.
To wait after the I think Tamash had this game locked up already. I'm not a Doomsday expert, but here's a second hate piece, and Teferi can only deal with 1. And Jakob is drawing from random cards from his deck.
Yeah.
And he has 2 blanks in hand with the Dark Ritual, it's a blank.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the Trinisphere is in play, of course.
The flutes, I think in so many games from this deck, the flutes are so powerful, actually. It helps this deck so much. And, well, now that it comes to my mind, there's not much Blood Moon and Harbinger of Disease running around, right? So This is, I guess, one of the weak spots for this deck, for this Tron
Yeah,
deck.
for sure. Because then you have only the monolith to make colorless mana for all of your colorless spells. I mean, the Confluence also kills the Magus and the Harbinger at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the red and blue decks, I mean, the red Stompy deck has kind of fallen out of favor.
Recently, yeah.
It's struggles against all of the blue decks. They play so many good cards.
Yeah.
Like Hydroblast is so annoying, and once they know you're playing Moon, they will always fetch the island, and then they can basically cast their entire deck. And
yeah, exactly.
it's way too all in to like perform consistently. While we have seen some players today, but not at the top tables because the deck lacks consistency. The mono red deck.
Yeah.
Even if you like get to play Saga in your own mono red deck, it's not a good card for a deck, I think. Since the mono red deck is like trying to play turn 1 3 mana card, turn 2 3 mana card, turn 3 4 mana card, and so on. And there's no time to like deploy Saga and make construct tokens. And meanwhile, Jakob extended the hand.
Yeah, which means that Tamash is now again one step ahead for getting into the finals of today's Legacy tournament. He will face
Alex, I think.
Alex, yeah, Devon, Texas. Interesting match, as will be for sure. This is something that I'm very curious actually to see. Let's see.
I think if Alex would be on the draw, Tamash would be a huge favorite in game 1 at least, and I think both have a chance. But the Tamash stack looks really unfair into at least game 1 Devon, Texas, I think.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Let's see what brings to the table. Also good running, of course, from Jakob's side. Still very good showing. Also from Chino, again, both made it into the top 8 of today's Legacy tournament. They will also be awarded with some great prizes for sure.
Maybe we can have a look at the prizes
exactly,
for a second.
Yeah. The prizes here of today is what already has been dealt out was the 4 Kaitos that we had. And then we have a couple of fetch lands for places 5 to 8. It's always nice to add to your collection. And yeah, then what else do we have for the top 4 players?
So Alex and Tamash have already at least a foil Force of Negation confirmed for them. They still get to play next round for at least a foil Force of Will. The old border artwork looks so nice. I really, even though I'm an OG kind of guy, the new old border cards are all really pretty. Like I like that they made new cards with old border frames. Looks really cool. I mean, this is an old card anyways, but there are many other new cards with an old border frame now
that are kind of converted into old border. And I agree.
They're just really cool design from Wizards, I think.
Yeah.
And the first place gets a City of Traitors, plus of course, in addition, the ELM invite for the European Legacy Masters in I think 10th of August in Hasselt.
Yeah.
It will be a great and prestigious tournament to play there.
Very, very nice. And just to see what we actually had in this tournament, we can also have a quick look at our meta game today. So this was the meta game that people played in for this Legacy Challenge. Roughly 1/4 was tempo.
Do we have 2 tempo decks in the top 8? I think so, right?
I think so, yeah.
So it's like
there is.
I mean, Daniel is playing ninjas.
There's ninjas, exactly.
And Paul is playing tempo.
Tempo, yeah. There's one. There's actually and Marcus is then on Reanimator.
But that's graveyard, right?
That's graveyard, yeah.
But we have 2 tempo decks as 27%, so matches the conversion rate roughly.
Yeah. One Reanimator deck, only one actually, yeah. Then we have this Tron deck that we just saw.
That's the Stompy deck, right?
There's a Stompy, yeah. Then we have
Doomsday spell combo.
Yeah.
We have Devon, Texas, that's like mid-range control.
Yeah,
a while.
You can put it here on the while.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Then Simon plays Cradle Control.
Yeah.
So that's like mid-range, right? I guess.
Yeah.
And
that's about
Gino with Elves, that's permanent combo.
That's permanent combo, yeah.
I mean, his word list today was not combo.
His version was more mid-range, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's counted under permanent.
So basically, you have like every archetype represented in the top 8, and Tamash with Stompy, kind of Stompy deck. I mean, it's more like Prison, but that's what Stompy is about in Legacy, kind of, right? Playing lock pieces and then play big or strong creatures or big planeswalkers to win the game.
Very cool. I think very nice and diverse meta game and also diverse top 8, I would say.
Yep.
And
Oh, do we have another backup? A backup.
backup maybe. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we have a look at that. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Oh, and the fairy got named with the second flute, I guess. Not with the first one, but
That was the case earlier. Okay, so we have another backup match for the semifinals. We have Markus Schmidhuber. He's playing the Reanimator deck that we just mentioned before, and he actually plays against
Daniel Möstl.
Daniel Möstl. Yeah,
on
he's
ninjas.
on the ninja. Also, yeah, blue-black mirror kind of underground sea mirror. Very nice to see as well. Let's see.
It's a backup.
Backup, exactly.
So let's see.
We confirm the standings.
So we have on the left Markus Schmidhuber, and on the right Daniel Möstl.
We had Daniel also, I think, on stream.
Yeah, it was where the stream crashed when he played against the Reanimator deck.
Yeah, this was the case, yeah.
Third, RD.
You got that me on the second time on that already. So, and we have blue-black Reanimator for Markus.
He was sixth.
Sixth, yes. Okay. It is currently, we need to confirm what the standings is. If it's still the first game or second game.
It looks like 2 Forces in the graveyard from Markus.
Yeah.
So it looks Daniel won the first game, confirmed. Yeah. 0-1 for Schmidi, so Daniel is up 1-0. And we see 2 Forces, 1 Yuriko in the graveyard, and 1 random card that's too blurry, I think. This is a Bowmaster into an open daze and an open force, so interesting. So that means Markus has a daze in his own, likely.
Yeah. As the opponent Daniel is also tapped out, and he wants to maybe go for the daze fights.
Yeah, if this is the unknown card, is a blue card from Daniel, then this could be really a blowout for him.
Yeah.
And he goes for the daze. Markus also goes for the daze.
Okay.
Now, let's see if it's a blue card or not.
If there's a force, there's also a force, okay? Infiltrator getting pitched. So, is this a good exchange for Markus then?
And another force. So both players are kind of throwing in all the resources.
Just for Bowmaster.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. But both players are going for it.
I dislike both force pitches, kind of.
Yeah.
Since now
Markus could have said, okay, I got the force and the daze.
Yeah.
You can have my Bowmasters.
I think if he gets like 3 for 2, kind of. Like,
it's okay, right?
It's okay, since I mean, as soon as Daniel draws a ninja, it's bad that the ninjutsu creature is there. But also from Daniel's side, pitching Tamio and the force to like prevent the Bowmaster, it's I don't know.
It's so many resources. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Tamio into Bowmasters is not the best eater, so both players basically resetted their hand, and it's now
on top deck mode.
On top deck mode with a Bowmaster in play. So any future brainstorm is not the best for Daniel so far, but besides that, it's just full top deck mode. And Daniel could even wasteland. And he mills the brainstorm because there is the Bowmaster, as we talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just 2 creatures for Schmidi against 1 knight from Daniel. Could be turn 1 almost, right?
Yes. Okay, let's see what happens. Daniel has a few turns. He can maybe find a Bowmaster of his own.
And I think Markus should have bounced the Surveillant with the days, especially into the open wasteland, so you get wastelanded anyways.
So you mean like to get extra surveil trigger as a value? Okay.
Since now both are in top deck mode, right? And
What do you think about this field push? I mean, I see it's only one land, and it's about, of course, using your mana, but the Ornithopter wouldn't do much right now, right? Yeah.
I think you can't kill the Ingenious Infiltrator,
and
you can't kill the Yuriko with the push, so I think it's important to push the
okay.
Ornithopter.
Yeah.
Not as Wasteland for Marcus.
Mhm.
Interesting, he didn't fetch, so maybe he should play 2 other cities, right? Or 2 other city sewers, 2 surveillance, or only 1. Wow. Most Reanimator. Is Marcus playing mid range, not Reanimator?
Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's not even playing Reanimator.
Good to point out. Yeah.
Because Reanimator for sure plays 2 surveillance because it's so broken, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It has 2 surveillance usually.
And I thought Marcus usually plays
Mhm.
blue black Reanimator.
Yeah. No, sorry. Now, okay, it is blue-black tempo actually that Marcus is playing on the
Mhm.
left-hand side.
So we have 3 tempo decks in the top 8.
Yeah, that's actually then 3 tempo decks, yeah. And no Reanimator.
No Reanimator, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he just has a list of it is a mostly standard.
How
blue
common are
black.
the main deck Barrow-Goyfs, you would say?
A lot of players actually opt to go for that over the Murktides. Marcus has, despite that, still 1 extra copy of Murktides because I guess he likes the card quite a bit. Sometimes people play Barrow-Goyfs, sometimes people play Murktides. You can see that, yeah.
That's a very strong pond, I think. We saw Nethergoyf, Brainstorm, and I think that was Thoughtseize. So 2 really good cards. Thoughtseize is not the best at this spot, I think, but Nethergoyf is strong beat on stick, and Brainstorm for future turns.
Is Thoughtseize now maybe still a good card to cast because I guess the opponent doesn't have a land.
Yeah, I can
in
see
his hand.
casting Thoughtseize this turn.
Yeah. Or just
Yeah.
or just go for another.
Maybe next turn. But I would like not put it on the lowest card. I think I would put it first or second, since likely Daniel has a ninja in hand.
Yeah,
And as soon
okay.
as he draws the hand, he can maybe like claw back in the game with the first ninjutsu, then the second ninjutsu, and like draw cards and get back. And there's the brainstorm with the known Thoughtseize. He's kind of brainstorm locking himself, I think. Putting back 2 cards. So this was just he cycled the brainstorm kind of.
Yeah, drawing 1 card deeper and then rearranging it. I mean, of course, there would have been a possibility for a fetch land or something like that, but
I don't like this brainstorm, to be honest. With the Thoughtseize. I mean, maybe now Marcus is scared of something, but there's just brainstorm and days. So what do you think? Do you take the days here?
I guess the days, brainstorm, or maybe even the brainstorm actually. I'm not sure.
How big is the Goef? We will see now. It's 4, 4, 5. Oh, 3, 4 only.
3, 4, yeah.
I think it makes sense to take the days because you have shoot the sheriff on top. So if he decides to brainstorm, you can get to kill 1 on top, then immediately kill the other one with the shoot the sheriff.
Yeah.
So even if he finds a ninja.
Okay, yeah. So, Daniel doesn't have the best top decks. I guess a Bowmaster would be a good start to deal with the opposing Bowmaster, and then he can utilize the brainstorm.
But that's kind of, as you said earlier, the ninja deck sometimes struggles in these late game scenarios. He drew Ornithopter, Ornithopter.
Yeah.
And imagine drawing like Nethergoyf in the same spot, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The game would be looking completely different.
Nethergoyf is just much more potent in that spot.
As you push on the Bowmaster, freeing the brainstorm. It's so funny that you don't push the Nethergoyf and instead push the Bowmaster.
It's actually a good question. Is there a point in going for the Nethergoyf because you can block the Bowmaster for the time being?
But you can't play the brainstorm
then.
then.
I know it's still, let's say, same situation, but at least you don't take damage.
Is it the end step of Schmiedi right now? So maybe it's like.
I guess it's his Daniel's main phase. But
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
like this. I would like this if it's Schmiede's end step right now. I would like this play.
Okay.
If not, I dislike it even more. If it's like main phase, I would have main phase kill the Bowmaster. I can always kill it instant speed or something.
Yeah.
And we see, I think, the Fatal Push, the Daze, the Tamio, and Shadow Mage. Not, I always say Shadow Mage Infiltrator, but it's Ingenious Infiltrator.
Right. Maybe it is actually the end step. Yeah, let's have a look. No,
Yeah,
actually, it's just main phase. Yeah. Okay.
I really dislike this play. Another Bowmaster from Schmiedi now. And this.
He can kill one of the Ornithopters if
he blocks.
If he blocks, and I'm pretty sure. he wants to.
Yeah, this works perfectly for Schmidi because
Mhm.
the Goif is a 4/5, I think, so he has to like block it.
Yeah.
And
Then
now he can shoot one into face and grow the army. He doesn't have to even shoot the ornithopter. Should shoot face.
should
Yeah.
you have to face, yeah.
Phew. Shoot face, make the army a 2/2. Both
Mhm.
ornithopters dies.
Yeah.
And I don't see how ninjas can win this game.
A bomb masters at least buys him a turn
Yep.
if he finds something. But
Oh,
can
Fatal Push also buys him a turn.
Palebush also, yeah.
You can replay the Goif, I think. It costs 4 card types to exile, right? To escape
Yeah,
it.
exactly. 3 mana and you have to exile 4 card types.
Yeah. So Schmiede attacks for 2, and I think likely exiles the. Maybe kills the Tamio. That's the better play, I think.
Does he have?
Shoot the Sheriff.
Yeah, shoot the sheriff. Okay, so gets rid of the Tamio and
I
can
don't
attack
think
for
she's
free.
an outlaw.
No.
It's like not a pirate wizard or something. A pirate. What's pirate mercenary?
Yeah.
Something like that.
All this kind of crazy stuff. Assassins, mercenary pirates, rogues. Rogue, I think, is the most relevant one because of something like Brazen Borrower or Doughty Voidwalker.
Ragavan is a pirate actually, but
Yeah,
he is banned.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
yeah. And I think other than that, there's not really a relevant creature type. But
No
rogue,
assassin, mercenary, or warlocks in Legacy
It's
really,
al-
but rogues and pirates, I think.
it's always a toss up if you want to go for the throat.
Is
Uh,
Bombardier also like a goblin pirate?
Yeah, and or a rogue. Yeah, I think it's maybe a pirate. Yeah.
Goblin pirate,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is one that you also can't kill.
Mhm.
It's usually these three: Borrower, the
The Doughty,
Doughty, and
the
the
Bombardiers,
Bombardier.
and
Exactly.
Ragavan if it wouldn't be banned.
Yeah.
And if you go for the throat, you can't kill Saga tokens. You can. I mean, Saga tokens is the most important thing. You can kill painters.
Yeah. It depends on the meta game.
Yeah.
But in this case,
Carry
it's
against
actually
pirate Stompy.
yeah.
Or assassin Stompy or whatever.
In this case, it was good that it's not a go for the fruit because he
Could have killed an
could
ornithopter
have
maybe.
killed an ornithopter then, which was not the case. Okay, this is game 3 now. Marcus won second game.
Looks like a toilet break for Marcus.
Yeah.
Or a water break or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
let's look at the sideboard since we jumped into game 2.
Exactly, yeah.
From Daniel, we already know based off the Reanimator match that there is lots of graveyard hate for Daniel.
Yeah,
But that's not so relevant since Marcus is not playing
the Reanimator.
Reanimator version. Maybe more Wastelands, maybe more Fatal Pushes.
Barrow for
Barrow
sure.
Guys for sure, yeah.
Looks very good for him.
We saw both players keeping Dazes and Force of Wills again. At least some copies.
Sure.
Maybe not the full playsets, but some copies for sure.
It's actually also, I think, a little bit of unusual. Usually in this kind of, I would imagine that you put out at least the forces. You don't want the 2-for-1 yourself, I guess.
I think Daniel's deck really struggles against Bowmaster though, unless he has his own Bowmaster, of course. But
He has, yeah.
with the Infiltrator drawing multiple cards and Tamio and Brainstorm drawing cards,
Yeah.
I think the the Bowmaster looks quite strong against the Ninja's deck. I mean, it's strong against any blue deck, of course, but especially it can basically kill all the creatures on its own, kind of, if it's unchecked.
Yeah.
Even if you get ninjutsu stuff in, but I wouldn't want to play against Bowmaster, so I can see him like keeping in all the interaction. Since he needs to kill the Bowmasters on spot, on site from Marcus. And Marcus has
Yeah, what we see here is another Bowmaster. There's
Bowmaster, third Barrow. I think we also saw a Brazen Borrower, maybe he can bounce an attacking creature after ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Maybe Toxic Deluge even, since his Nethergoyf usually is quite big, and the Barrowgoyfs are also bigger than the ninjas.
What do you think about Voidwalkers?
If they could block.
If they could only block.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they're mostly here for Upsalt spells and Reanimator in that kind of mirrors.
Also, you can combine it with Thoughtseize, but there's no relevant card really to Thoughtseize from Daniel.
Yeah.
The best thing you can get is likely a Kaito, I would say, or maybe a Force of Will or a Fatal Push, but that's it. Like getting a Yuriko without like having the attack ninjutsu thingy happen.
Yeah.
It can be easily blocked by an Ornithopter. It's a 1/3, I think, Yuriko, so
Exactly,
He
yeah.
gets blocked by Ornithopter and walled by it. Same for the
Mm.
Infiltrator. It's a 2/3. As we learned, that gets walled by Tamio, so
Mm.
not many great cards to steal from with Doughty.
Yeah, yeah.
Compared to like, you want this against big mana in combo, like graveyard combo, I think. Against Eldrazi, it looks cool, right? You get the ring, you get the Ugin, and
Yeah.
maybe you get the Karn even against all the artifact stuff.
Which makes sense
Mhm.
with this kind of matchups. But here now it's mostly about trading,
Trading Bowmasters, actually.
trading bowmasters and having threats and answers to the each other's cards. And Daniel is now on the play.
We see Nihil Spellbomb.
We see Nihil Spellbomb, that is true. Of course, is okay, I would assume always. He can cycle and he can deal with the Nethergoyfs, for example.
You can temporarily shrink Nethergoyfs,
Mm.
kill them with Bowmasters actually for that one
Yeah.
turn.
That has happened before.
And maybe he's like scared of Murktides or I mean, Barrowglyphs counts for both graveyard, but maybe if he thinks like Marcus plays 3 Murktides, and now we get his own playmat.
Showing off. Is this a 4 Seasons one?
No, this is from an RCQ. It's Mystical Dispute.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think he won it against me. or like,
Okay.
we decided to split the finals, and I
Okay.
already had this one, so
Okay.
I got like the ticket and gave him the playmat, I think, something like that.
Okay.
So we made a split for that one. It was at JKU Games in Linz.
Yeah.
And we played the Neoform Mirror. So basically, we went like a self-mill, play a Delph creature like Hooting Mandrills,
Okay. Yeah.
and then Neoform into Trucks, and that was the whole deck. And then you had 2 Atraxas staring down at each other for the whole game, and it was a stupid deck.
Okay.
I think it was Pioneer back then, but
Yeah. Pioneer, yeah.
So turn 1 Surveillant, not with the fetch. That's still okay to play if you don't have a turn 1 play. We see Force of Will again.
Yeah. It's very, very unusual but still, yeah.
Mhm.
In that case, both players decide and think that they need the forces.
I think it's also a daze behind the Force of Will. So Darling has daze and Force of Will.
Yeah. And Marcus is having his first turn and decides to just wasteland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I think I talked with Peter about this. If both players have like nothing in play, wastelanding on a draw is good. But as soon as like Daniel would have played a 1-drop, I don't feel like that good wastelanding on a draw.
Yeah.
Since you are kind of setting yourself behind more.
But do you think, however, though, that Daniel milled an underground sea off of this veil that he had?
That makes me really happy to wasteland even more aggressively.
Okay. You don't think he has enough mana and I think it's very reasonable. Just
I think like first of all the deck lists are on Stream Deck, so you should be able to watch them likely or have a look at them.
They are live, yeah.
And so what I think about why I like this play, Ninjas is a deck that operates well on, let's say, 2 to 3 lands. So if he mills a land that tells kind of Marcus he has 1 or 2 lands in hand. You don't have 3 or 4, you would have kept the hand with 3 or 4 lands. And that punishes the wasteland play even more, since likely Daniel now has to operate on 1 or 2 lands and milled 1 land, so the odds of him drawing a land are less likely now.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Here we see another days battle around the time.
This is similar as we saw last game.
And the Force of Will.
Both players really
hate Tamio.
Yeah, and they like to want to fight.
Now
Do we see another force from
Force? He's thinking. There's the Force.
Case for sure. This is something that this looks so funny.
Like, why do you force here? You just Tamio. I mean, if it's a brainstorm, it's okay to flip Tamio and like apply pressure that way. But if it doesn't have a brainstorm, I really dislike this play. Pitching another days. I mean, okay.
Fair, okay. So I guess there's a Tamio.
I mean, they're in the top 8. We are casters, maybe they know better than us. But
yeah. There must be something here, sure.
Maybe we missed like a global announcement that you can't sideboard out Daces and Force of Wills or whatever. They made like a gentleman's agreement to keep all the counter magic. I don't know. So it looks like Brainstorm, the new artwork, Barrogoyf, and the Ingenious Infiltrator in Daniel's hands. Maybe we see a cycle of the Spellboom end of turn to draw a card and hope to draw a land.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Only see Marcus deck in Stream Decker for a reason. We will check.
You can also switch the deck in the Stream Decker. There's not like, but we will check.
In the extension on top, you can decide to switch the deck lists.
Yeah, there's both versions.
Yep. So on top, you have to click on like Markus Schmidhuber and Ubi midrange, and then you can swap it to Daniel Mestel with ninjas.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there is the Brainstorm, so that makes me like the Force play more.
Okay, yeah, because he gets now to flip the Tamio and has something that Tamio, of course, if it runs away with the game, it's just it's a game.
It wins the game,
It wins the
basically.
game. Yeah.
So, and also I think he has another Force in hand, and I like this second Force because Daniel has no pressure to pressure the Tamio yet, and then he gets at the point where Daniel plays a creature, Marcus gets to force it.
Yeah.
And then maybe even gets to buy back the Force, since likely he's cycling the Spellbomb now to kill the first Force, like remove it, and find a second land, since Daniel really needs a second land.
Yeah.
And then even if he doesn't want to flip the Tamio, he can still, not to plus it, he can minus it for Force like on next turn already. So he can like force this turn and next turn Force again if he wants to. And I think that's a very commanding position now for Marcus. So I like this Force play.
Yeah, in that hindsight, of course, it makes sense, yeah.
If you could Daze them, that would be insane. I don't think you want to force the Brainstorm, but I also like forcing Brainstorms. Like, it's kind of a gamble, right? If you think he has no lands, which I think Marcus should put him on no lands, but
yeah,
I would force it, but also here on no lands, I think. So he kind of Brainstorm locked himself. Now, maybe.
It doesn't look too well. Just an on and top that he found.
Maybe two on it.
Yeah, two on the top that he can cast off this Brainstorm. Otherwise, he didn't found any lands.
So Daniel just Brainstorm locked himself out of the game, kind of.
Yeah.
Tamios goes to 6, then Daniel draws the blank. Tamio goes to 8, Daniel draws another blank, and then it's time to ultimate.
Actually, ultimate, yeah. I don't know if there's not a 1 mana removal spell, yeah.
Is the 1 mana ninjutsu also not right? It's
ninjutsu, I think.
Yuriko is 3 and Infiltrator is 2 and Kaito Yuriko is 2.
Both are 2.
And Kaito is 3, yeah. But no 1 mana ninjutsu. So this Tamio likely we will see an ultimate, I think. There's nothing that can.
I think there's nothing that can stop it. Unless Marcus decides to downtick it somehow.
Of course, yeah.
But I think this is something that Marcus could see. That his opponent Brainstorm locked. He didn't find a second land, and in blue-black there's not a 1 mana card that deals with the flipped Tamio.
Yeah. There's only like engineer explosives, but to crack that it also costs 2.
Yeah.
I think Marcus can ride this Tamio to victory likely. I think he hasn't even plussed it yet, so he can still plus it to 6 this turn.
Yeah. He's now just having the second underground sea fetched and
Fatal Push
one of the top. Sure.
Does he reap? No.
I
guess
would have been
scared.
so.
Yeah,
I guess.
He's scared of something 1 mana ninjutsu, sure.
This is, I think, what Daniel really likes to see, actually. If he starts to play with the onthoughts that they don't do anything, actually. And this buys Daniel quite a bit of time.
Yeah, like 2 more turns.
For sure, yeah.
Actually, only Bloodchief's first. Oh, yeah, that kills Tamio. Yeah. Very, very good.
Well, yeah, maybe Ninja says it, of course. He has seen some Legacy play, I think.
I think that was like before some of the good cards like Shooter Sheriff were printed.
Yeah, I guess so. yeah.
Or even Prismatic Ending kind of is the better version than that. So,
yeah, for sure.
Let's see the Ponder here. We have the Nethergoyf applying pressure. I think it's a land and an instant in the graveyard, so it's a 2-3. Now a 3-4 after the Ponder.
Yeah. Well, of course, Marcus is still way ahead.
Yeah.
And Taimyo can likely still ultimate.
She costs 7 and not 8, I think. So the down tick only costs him 1 turn actually.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst. We see days on the fatal push, so both players love their dazes. And yeah, Marcus is taking Tami up to 7 now. He rebuys the days. No, okay. Thank God, no.
We buy it every time, just dazing all everything. Yeah. Okay, now there's basically now threatened ultimate next turn.
And you see that mills surveillance turn 1 mill the land and then wasteland. So brutal for Daniel.
It is, yeah.
Maybe you actually are forced to like keep the land on top because you are dead to wasteland almost with Daniel's hand. There's the ultimate.
There's the ultimate.
Where's the bowmaster?
Is there?
There's the bowmaster, but there's like
and a force.
double force.
True bowmaster. It would have been actually a nice answer to that.
Would have killed Marcus likely. Yeah.
Marcus has the force. Yeah.
So Marcus advances to the top 4 as well.
Exactly. So this is now Marcus on blue-black tempo. We have the Death and Texas deck and also the
Tron deck.
Tron deck. And the fourth one we need to look at who actually won that one.
It's Cradle Control, I think.
Or... it's Cradle Control.
Oh no, is it Simon against Bernstein Power? Are they're still playing maybe?
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah. This is
So it's Cradle Control against blue-black tempo. So we have confirmed Death in Texas, we have confirmed Tron and blue-black tempo, and either tempo or Cradle Control as the fourth deck.
I think quite nice top 4. 4 different decks as well.
Maybe 4 different decks.
Maybe, yeah. It's true, maybe, yeah.
And maybe we get a blue-black mirror in the semi-final.
Could be, yeah. Sounds very good. I think now we will head into a short break. And yeah, it shouldn't be taking too long. There might only be 1 match remaining, and then we head into the quarterfinals, where now Felix will stay, and Peter will come back as a commentator. See you in a couple of minutes.
See you soon, guys. Bye bye.